Special Weather Authority storm coverage is sponsored by Casco Bay Generators.
We are wrapping up a day full of storm coverage as Post-Tropical Storm Lee made its way through Maine. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Marissa Bodner.
And I'm Greg Lagerquist. Yeah, still a storm for down east Maine as we speak. It did wobble a little bit east overnight. Good news certainly for greater Portland. But as expected, we are seeing trees down, tens of thousands of outages, especially mid-coast and down east Maine.
At last check, under 40,000 CMP customers are without power. Now, they are widespread, with many of those on the mid-coast in Lincoln and Knox counties. Versant Power also reporting major outages. At last check, they had just over 18,000 customers affected. Both companies are reporting some progress.
Now, Versant says the wind was actually too strong for a lot of the afternoon for their crews to work in those bucket trucks. In fact, both CMP and Versant saying anytime the wind is above 35 miles an hour, well, they cannot use the bucket trucks, just not safe. Versant says they're hopeful they'll have everybody's power back within 72 hours. So it may take several days to get everybody back online.
We'll have more on those outages in just a moment. But first, let's get right to the latest on Lee and your forecast with meteorologist Ryan Munn.
Yes, so yeah, of course. I mean, it wasn't really expected, of course, as you guys already know. The rain wasn't the issue today. I mean, we had almost no rain.
For this part of Maine.
Yes, exactly. For our area, I should say that. We had 1/100th of an inch of rain in Portland.
It's pretty dry.
Some areas up towards the Eastport area, Jonesboro, and down east saw over 4 to 5 inches of rain. So
it's still raining.
Yeah, it's still raining there now. So unbelievable, depending on where you were across the state. But this sunset was unbelievable as well. Let's get a look at this. I had to show you this. Let's start with the positive news. We had a wicked nice sunset in some parts of the state, especially in southern parts of the state where the sun peaked out through the afternoon and evening at times. And we are looking at, again, now the sun, of course, which is set, but the winds, they were very strong throughout the daytime today. We had winds gusts upwards of 83 miles per hour in Perry, Maine. This is over towards, of course, down east, much of the same for Jonesport as well as Eastport. And then you head over towards the mid-coast and down east, in southern Maine, we had wind gusts still anywhere between about 40 to 55 miles per hour. Pemaquid Point topped out right around 58 miles per hour. Now, the winds, they are much calmer out there right now. We have winds sustained and gusting upwards of 25 to about 30, 35 miles per hour, one of the higher numbers right now. Bangor at 36 miles per hour, Lewiston 32, 21 miles per hour in the Wiscasset region. Here's some more good news. The waves, they are going down, and they are substantially going down. Earlier this afternoon, we were talking 10 to 20 feet. Now it's generally about 5 to 8, 5 to 9 feet for most areas. A little bit stronger up towards Jonesboro, Bowie. And you can see we do have a flash flood warning still for parts of Washington County. A lot of rain in this area. They saw quite a bit of rainfall. But again, most areas, Portland south over towards even like Freiburg, almost no rain whatsoever, if not completely dry for much of the state. But the rain is moving out. We are going to see the sunshine return for the day tomorrow. And then more rain is expected as we head into the beginning of the week. I'll talk all about it in the 7-day forecast coming up in just a little bit. Greg and Marissa, over to you.
All right. Thank you, Ryan. Well, sadly, this storm did turn deadly, killing a man in Searsport at the top of Penobscot Bay. The Waldo County Sheriff's Office says a man died this morning when a tree fell on his car in this storm. Officials say a 50-year-old man was driving this morning along Route 1 in Searsport just before 9. When a large tree fell on his vehicle and hit the power lines as well. Now, initially, that man was badly injured, but rescuers had to wait for that power to be turned off before they could get to him. He was then rushed to the hospital where he later died. Authorities say they will release his identity once all family notifications are complete. Also take a look. Incredibly, no serious injuries from this. This was Aroostook County. A man from Ohio was driving this van when the high winds brought down a giant tree right through the windshield. The tree just missing the driver and the 5 passengers inside. Incredibly, the driver walking away with just a few cuts.
Well, in all but down east Maine, the damage is done and the cleanup is now underway after Lee took out power for tens of thousands of Mainers. Fox 23's Owen Kingsley is in Portland with what's ahead for Maine's power companies and emergency management officials. Owen.
Hi there, Marissa. Well, if you are still in the dark out there, you can expect to be so for possibly the next day or two. Crews work to restore power. Local and state officials say that this was a powerful storm and that the effects will likely linger.
With wires draped under it, and it was smoking, and I thought, what the heck just happened?
Lee Lilly said he came home right after this large tree came down across Fog Road in Scarborough, taking out several power lines. Powerful winds from Saturday's storm took out power for more than 100,000 people across the state.
This wind field is so big, it is a very large storm.
Both Versant and Central Maine Power were challenged to get the power back on Saturday.
As we've been restoring power in southern Maine, we're collapsing crews to the harder hit areas from Brunswick up to Belfast to get those customers back online quickly.
At times, winds were so strong it wasn't safe for utility workers in their bucket trucks.
They are certainly performing damage assessment and doing work from the ground when it is not safe for them to fly in the buckets.
In the days ahead, officials with Maine's Emergency Management Agency will begin working with the hardest hit areas and calculating the damages.
So we'll be working through this. Our recovery team's going to be busy working with the towns. We're going to be connecting continuously with our county directors and the locals to find out if those damages have surfaced.
In the meantime, utility workers are continuing to restore power for the next few days. And if you come across any down lines from the storm, steer clear.
The last thing we want during one of these storms is to see someone lose their life trying to clear the way for traffic or trying to get out of their driveways.
For those who are still in the dark tonight, both CMP and Versant Power are expecting to restore power for all of Maine by early next week. Live in Portland, I'm Owen Kingsley, Fox 23 News at 10.
Owen, thank you. Meantime, the Mid-Coast, one of the areas that saw some of the most severe weather and damage from Lee and the most outages. Fox 23's Asia Reed is at Bowie Park there in Rockland, where the winds at one point were whipping up to 55 miles an hour today.
As of Saturday evening, there's been around 60,000 Mainers without power, and that's according to CMP. And Storm Lee has caused some rude awakenings for some Mainers living right here in Rockland.
And then I was over having my morning grumper, and I heard this crash. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get killed because this tree's gonna fall on my house.
Rockland resident Jesse says his friend was just about to leave for work when this tree came toppling over onto their car. Jesse says they don't have power, but they're hunkering down. That's also the case for some folks visiting Maine all the way from Wisconsin.
It's a nice little Airbnb we're staying at. It's up in Hope, actually. And there's two trees down in the way coming down here. We had to go into the ditch on one of them. Good thing we got a four-wheel drive car to do that. But we're hoping the power comes back on before we get back there.
Check out this downed tree on Atlantic Highway in Noblesboro. Just a minute down the road in Waldoboro, a handful of CMP crews set up to trim trees away from power lines. Some folks say they're prepared and staying inside to be safe.
We prepped a little bit, batten down the hatches. We got 5 gallons of water, and we got rain barrels and stuff.
As of Saturday evening, there's about 6,000 residents here in Knox County without power. That's according to CMP. In Rockland, police remind folks if you have to go out on the roads tonight, make sure to steer clear of any downed trees or down lines. In Rockland, I'm Asia Reed, Fox 23 News at 10.
I'm Fox 23's Dave Ead as Lee heads out of town. The biggest impact here on Old Orchard Beach.
Quick look at your health news tonight. Several foods that taste delicious this time of year can help you eat for energy.
Medical reporter Liz Bonus shares what's on the list.
Anytime you want to eat for energy, think whole foods as opposed to those that are processed, and foods that are grown where you live.
We carry as much local and regional products as we can from makers, farmers, sell a little bit of everything.
That's because when you buy whole foods that are grown locally, such as those you see here at Ohio's Madison's at Findlay Market, they are fresh. The fresher the food, the more nutrients maintained for energy. If they switch up what they sell each season,
We do a lot of the stuff, a lot of the produce we have here, we try to keep seasonal.
you're likely to get even more of the nutrition your body needs. Apples right now are a seasonal favorite and top the list of foods to eat for quick energy this time of year. Second on the list.
What are your favorites, Mom?
Romaine lettuce for Caesar salad.
Yep, leafy greens. They are packed with B vitamins, which help the energy nutrients from food get into your cells. Third, think pumpkin. Well, most of us think of pumpkins for pumpkin pie, or in some cases, maybe even pumpkin beer. Pumpkins and squash this time of year can replace potatoes to eat for energy. They are packed with fiber, which absorbs slowly for staying power. Fourth, try adding avocado to just about anything. This has a good kind of fat that helps maintain energy levels after you eat. Finally, go nuts. They are packed with protein, which helps beat fatigue and fight hunger.
Now, just so you know, the only thing you get energy from is food. You can't get it in a pill or a vitamin. Extra supplements may help you use the food more efficiently, but for energy, you gotta eat. I'm medical reporter Liz Bonus. Back to you.
After the break, we'll head to Cape Elizabeth.
Hear from beachgoers hoping to catch the waves. Well, we didn't see much rain in southern Maine. We did get plenty of strong wind gusts and some really wicked waves.
Yeah, that had a lot of Mainers and vacationland visitors eager to see what Lee would offer. CBS 13's Mal Meyer was in Cape Elizabeth as the high tide came in.
Even though the storm wasn't what many had anticipated, it still put on one heck of a show.
We knew the hurricane was coming in. We try to come down when there's a big storm.
For those who know, Two Lights is one perfect spot to take in what Mother Nature dishes out.
They're big. I almost got caught. I had to run out of it.
But plenty of others didn't get up before it was too late.
Wasn't too cold.
Betsy Tomlinson was down on a rock when a serious wave headed straight for her.
My family called out the wave, so I knew it was coming, and I just held onto my phone and said, hold on to the phone, and get the video.
What was that like as the water rushed over you?
It was just a wall of white waves, and then I was soaking wet.
Much of the crowd stayed back, keeping dry, focused on capturing such an awesome sight. But over in Portland, Barry Manter was less than impressed.
I've lived here for 30 years, and this is just a windy day in Portland so far.
Though plenty of people headed to East End Beach as winds picked up, reaching gusts of 30 miles per hour.
I love it. I love this weather.
And for visitors from far away, this was an extra special trip.
This is the first time, so I don't know what to expect, and I'm quite excited. I'm going to keep wandering around.
We have tornadoes, and we go outside to look at the tornadoes. Like, this is crazy.
Even though Lee dashed their trip to Bar Harbor, Hope Stepka and Gabby Alleman are still enjoying their time spent in Maine.
Yeah, majority of our plans kind of got canceled here, so we're just going to travel and make the best of it, yeah.
Despite what weather threw their way, they're already looking forward to coming back again. Mel Meyer, Fox 23 News at 10.
Well, we are tracking the remnants of Lee still in parts of Maine tonight, and we're looking ahead to the rest of your weekend as well.
Meteorologist Ryan Munn has your full forecast in 15 seconds.
An insurance company is a heartless machine built to deny you the personal injury settlement you deserve.
We won't let that happen to you.
Make them pay you more. Call Hardy Wolf and Downing at 1-800-INJURED.
Well, depending on where you were across the state today, you saw no rain or you saw upwards of 5+ inches of rain in some spots. And this is actually a full time lapse of what we saw with the rain from the last 24 hours as Lee moved in, which as it did, it was a post-tropical cyclone Lee, and we have rain. And this rain continued throughout the evening and nighttime. And that, of course, is now going to move on out of here. And the rainfall totals from the daytime today. Whiting, yes, look at this. 5.7 inches of rain we saw. Yes, that was the highest amount that we saw throughout the entire state, at least what was reported. Eastport, 3.9 inches of rain. Jonesboro, around 3.64. However, the western part of the state, almost nothing. Topsom, only 1/10, a little over 1/10 of an inch of rain. Augusta, a 7/100ths, and Portland, barely a trace fell in the Portland area, and that was earlier this morning and right around the sunrise time frame before, of course, the sun actually came out later on in the afternoon. Here's where the green area is. This shows you where most of the rainfall fell, and we did have a flash flood warning earlier in the night, and you can see some heavier rainfall totals fell in parts of southern Washington County. 4.5 inches, even upwards of 5 inches of rain in some spots. And I did put some other numbers here. You can see most of the rainfall amounts were between about 2 to 4 inches of rain. Temperatures right now running in the 60s for much of the area. And as we get a look at the forecast, now there goes Lee. Lee is moving on out of here. However, we do have another storm that is developing, and it is eventually going to move in. However, yeah, we're going to see a good amount of rain with this as we head through the day on Monday. This is generally Monday afternoon, Monday evening, and then eventually it will move on out of here as we head through the day on Tuesday. So here's a look at your next 5 hours or so. You can see skies will clear. We're looking at partly cloudy skies right now. By the time we get to the overnight hours, we are looking at mainly clear skies with temperatures in the upper 50s. We may even see some upper 40s over towards the Berlin, New Hampshire region, and the winds are going to slowly calm down through the nighttime as well. So let's talk about that. We have wind gusts throughout the evening and nighttime, anywhere between about 15 to 30 miles per hour. And then it will eventually, by the time we get to tomorrow, pretty much return back to normal, anywhere between about 5 to 15 mile per hour winds, which we see on a normal day. And mainly sunny skies expected for your day tomorrow. Temperatures running in the 70s. And yes, look at this byline right here. You can see winds only around 5 to 10 miles per hour. So the storm is out of here, and we are going to see a beautiful day out there for tomorrow. Get out, make those outdoor plans. Temperatures will run in the 70s across the state. But then, of course, We are looking at some more bad news as we head into the day on Monday. Some scattered showers early. And then look at this. Some steady, if not heavy rain moves through as we head through the evening and nighttime on Monday. Look at some of these yellows and oranges developing during the evening. That shows you where the heavy rainfall is expected. And that continues Monday evening, Monday night, and into early on Tuesday. I do think there will be some scattered showers early for the day on Tuesday before eventually this moves on out of here. Let's get a look at the 7-day forecast. We're looking at sunny skies for your Sunday, and then Monday, again, the clouds move in. We're also going to see rain, especially later in the afternoon and evening. And that continues into early on Tuesday. Temperatures right around 70 degrees. And we are going to see a really nice stretch as we head into later on Tuesday afternoon. That continues Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even into next Saturday. We're looking at partly to mostly sunny skies, temperatures in the 70s. And yes, look at those overnight lows. We are going to be even cooler than where we should be for overnight lows. We're talking mid to upper 40s. I think a lot of people are pretty excited about that one. Marissa and Greg, over to you.
Ryan, thanks. It was far from a beach day, but Old Orchard Beach was packed with people to see the big waves, courtesy of Lee. Fox 23's David was out on the beach and gives us a look.
Well, the remnants of Lee didn't bring any rain here on Old Orchard Beach. What it did bring was high winds and some majestic surf. And oh yeah, a whole lot of spectators. Folks from all over coming to OOB to see Lee.
We don't get to see this too often. And to be honest with you, in coming down here and seeing this, it's a little different, but I still like it.
Some more than others.
It's a little non-storm almost.
The storm may have lost some of its punch before passing through Maine, but at high tide, the waves were the main attraction. What do you think of those waves?
I want to jump right in, bring my surfboard. Come on, the surfers over here now. I think they're crazy.
Yep, we had surfers, and believe it or not, even some swimmers too.
Great underpull, yeah. Yeah, but you know, it's fantastic and you gotta have a sense of adventure.
It's been an adventure for Tracy Haltorf, who's visiting from Minnesota, celebrating her 50th birthday.
I'm glad it's not too treacherous so we can fly out tomorrow, but yeah, this is amazing.
So as Lee exits vacation land, with it the winds and the waves are expected to subside. Reporting from Old Orchard Beach, Davey, Fox 23 News at 10.
Dave, out of the beach today. Appreciate Dave and everyone on their coverage. Here's a live look outside one more time from our Portland Skycam.
We'll be right back after the break. Let's get a final check on your forecast. We have sunnier skies tomorrow.
Yes, we do. We are looking at a beautiful stretch of weather really for tomorrow, but then some rain moves in as we head into the day on Monday. And then a beautiful stretch of weather will prevail Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Finally.
Yes, finally. Yes, I love it.
Some good weather.
I love it.
Lee has moved on and
Lee is out of
enjoy
here.
some nice
Adios.
Thanks for joining us.
Have a great night, everybody. Great week.